you're gonna want in. We have a world-class team because the IP deserves it. You cannot make these people do anything. You were right to love MetaZoo. These people, they don't need money. You know what I mean? They don't need, like, they're happy. You know what I mean? Like, they choose what they want to work on, and they chose MetaZoo.
Yo, what's up guys, it's Zealous, and today I'm going to be bringing you some highlights from the first ever interview with MetaZoo's new owner. And I'd just like to say shout out to Nick and Charlie for both doing this. You guys did an amazing job, and I cannot wait to see more interviews in the future. One more thing, if you guys enjoyed this video, hit that like and subscribe button. Let's get right into it.
All right, guys, so we're here today with Charlie Hurlocker. He's the guy that actually bought MetaZoo. So I'm going to let Charlie kind of talk to you guys a little bit with an intro of who he is, what his role is going to be going forward, and just explain a little bit about what's going on.
Sure. Well, first off, hi. It's nice to spend some time with you tonight. We're not just here with Charlie Hurlocker. We're here with Nick Miller. I love trading cards, and I always have. You know, I started in Pokemon, and I started flipping trading cards when I was in school. And, you know, it got to the point where before I graduated high school, I was, you know, making more money doing trading cards than my parents were making at their jobs. But then I just kind of kept at it. And I went to college for, I got my 4-year degree, the whole time dealing in trading cards. And then I ended up taking a full-time job in the industry as a director of operations for a grading middleman company. From there, you know, I really kind of carved out like a know-how in Pokemon cards and a know-how in grading. That led to an opportunity with CGC. So I got to be part of their founding team to build CGC grading for trading cards. I know it's not as big as PSA, but my first company was for PSA. So I have a lot of relationships there too. A lot of really close relationships. I love both companies, and you know, I worked there for a while and then ended up in the publishing side of the industry. And so that's where I am now is I work for Game Incubator Labs as a director of business development. I've been there for a little over a year. So it's funny. I think the story is a little bit fun. So unrelated, before they shut down, I had flagged that MetaZoo was a company that should be looked at. I was like, you know, I really think that this is somewhere where you could implement a lot of operational improvements, and you could probably get a lot more mileage. I think this community really likes these things. There was no traction really, and then, you know, the bankruptcy was announced, and I was like, oh, that's interesting. You know, I didn't know if they would buy it back. I didn't know, like I really didn't know. And then you know, they opened it up to make bids, and I started reaching out to people and trying to figure out what could be done there. And so I made a bid, and then I got sucked into this process, and we just kept making bids. And I was, you know, and so ultimately the group that I was leading, you know, won, of which I'm the primary person. And
well, someone in the chat just called you MetaZoo's Lord and Savior. So I think you're getting pretty warm reception here.
You know, we have this thing, and I really see us as stewards of it, and really my goal is to give it back to the community and to do what they want with it, you know, and to execute that and to do it well. You know, trading cards are no longer just trading cards. There's this irrational culture that has built around it, and unless you're in it day in and day out, you don't totally understand it, right?
Right. Well, people were asking me last night, how old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm 30.
Oh, you're that young? You're younger than me?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know how old you're.
Wow,
Sorry.
I'm 31.
Okay, here we go. No, I'm relatively young, but
oh, wow.
I got a head start on my trading card business. I mean, I started it in middle school, and you know, we hit like $1 million ARR pretty quick. And so
I think there's a lot of people excited about the fact that you're younger. Looking at the chat here, people wanted to.
Oh, if this goes well, I mean, I could drive this thing for 30, 40 years, you know, like really, you know, I would love to have the opportunity to do that. It's one of those things, right? We realize, like, after you have kids and you have a mortgage and you have a job, that it's the same race. We're all in it, you know?
So do you want to talk a little bit about the Game Incubator connection?
Yeah, sure, because it is confusing. So one of the thing I say to a lot of people is, I don't know if you ever heard the song. There's this song that's like, I'm my own grandfather, and in a way, it's like that, right? Because I work for GQL, and I'm also GQL's boss when it comes to MetaZoo, because I'm the president of MetaZoo, and so the relationship there is that it works because we have an incredibly deep partnership with them, which is, to say that MetaZoo has an exclusive license that it has granted, to GQL. And so in that sense, I'm here to hold that accountable, but ultimately GQL is the means by which this will be executed. GQL is an incredibly impressive company, not because of me, but just everything. I mean, you can see what's on the website.
Mm-hmm. So you want to talk a little bit about your vision for MetaZoo in collaboration with GQL?
Yeah, sure. That's a big question. It's really simple. The vision is to create a really great trading card game. Really want to hone in on all of the individual elements of the game and make them the best. I think it's easy to say, like, we're gonna do MetaZoo but better. It's not just that, right? Like, I think we have aspirations that are significantly larger than that, which is to make MetaZoo, a global cryptid-based IP that uses its regional familiarity to drive engagement and to bring trading cards to people through that. And I want this to be a global means by which people do trading cards and a global means by which people do cryptids, and so bringing that together into just a really awesome, satisfying, enjoyable, industry competitive, delivered on time product, those are the types of things that we're thinking about, and that ultimately comprises our vision for the IP.
Yeah, do you want to talk a little bit about the team there? Because I know there's a lot of chatter about some of those names that were involved, and a lot of excitement.
Yeah, we're going to talk about some of them. Give us time. We'll talk about everything. Is kind of it. And what I would say is, we can talk about Rick.
Yeah.
Rick's my boss. So here's why I think Rick Aarons is really important. He would tell you that he worked on a team. He would be all humble about it. He's a really good guy. He would tell you that he was part of a team, and there were a lot of things that happened and blah, blah, blah. But really, Rick was a really big part of the heart that pulled Pokemon through its lull in the early 2000s. And, he was at Wizards before, and all of this is public also. I mean, he put out his own letter. He was instrumental in recognizing the value of that IP, and committing to the trading card game and making it great, and making it what people want, and pulling that forward to where it's at today.
So was he familiar with MetaZoo prior to the bankruptcy? Or was it something he knew about or was on his radar before? Yeah. I mean, all of us knew about MetaZoo. The way I like to describe MetaZoo is the most successful indie TCG of all time. I mean, I don't think that that's incorrect at all. I would agree with that. Yeah.
MetaZoo was absolutely on the radar. I mean, I told you, we've talked about it, prior. It was just the opportunity that came along. And one thing I'll say is it's a completely original team. GQL pre-existed the bankruptcy, and we are using our team originally to do it. So
this will be their first project, right? This is like kind of their trial run with MetaZoo.
This formation, this group of people, this will be the first product that comes to market. Collectively, almost every product in the market that succeeded has come in some way from the people involved.
Well, I think a lot of people had questions about previous ownership, if Mike Waddell will have any involvement going forward in the new version of MetaZoo. I'd let you talk about that.
Yeah, so again, GQL pre-exists the bankruptcy, and we're using our original team. So we don't have anybody from MetaZoo that is involved in any of the development aspects. I know we'll talk about art probably later, but
so there you go, guys. He's not involved.
It's a fresh team. It's a completely fresh team. I really believe that the team we've put together is the
dream
A
team
to end all A teams.
For sure,
I really think, I mean, really, truly, to say that the vision is long term is almost an understatement. There is no end to the vision. I mean, we know where we start, but we don't have an end point. We don't have an end goal. I mean, other than to continue to progress forward, you know, this thing, and to grow this thing, and to do justice really to this thing that I think deserves so much more than it's had yet.
Charlie, I just want to say it's an honor to have you and your team a part of our community, and I can't wait to see what cards you guys have up your sleeves. All right, guys, if you want to see a part 2, leave a comment down below, and maybe even consider liking and subscribing. And if you really want to help build the community, maybe even share the video to one of your friends. But anyways, I'm not going to take up much more of your valuable time. I'm Zealous, and I'll catch you guys later.